Around 5:15 p.m., my mom brought over this cardboard box full of Sharpie markers that range in age from brand new to years old. That's just something I'm assuming, though. Years old and partially dried out. I'll have to dig in to the cardboard box itself at some point in order to determine that, though I'm primarily going to look through this cardboard box in search of very specific Sharpie markers, such as a fine-tipped rocket fuel red to go with this ultra-fine rocket fuel red, and a fine-tipped Sharpie marker that can make the same mark as this ultra-fine that I just pointed at. I spent a significant amount of the late morning, afternoon hours working on this to get where I am currently in terms of resorting my marker satchel. I have the metallics the way they are. Since the fine-tipped ones say for you to store them tip down, presumably if you don't do this, there's a risk of uncontrollable bleeding or other leakage. From metallic Sharpie markers. The ultrafine metallic Sharpie markers don't explicitly tell you on them to store them tip down, but because they're essentially the same as the fine-tipped Sharpie markers, in that they're all oil-based, rather unlike the rest of the Sharpie markers, which, if I recall correctly, are alcohol-based. I store the ultrafine tip metallic Sharpie markers tip down too. Yeah, I have a dry skin. In this room, when it gets colder, though throughout today and as of right now, it feels room temperature in here. I feel perfectly fine currently. It's nothing, a little Vaseline lotion. It can't help. Thank goodness. And my dad has that. It does seem to help. Of course, I can't work on any polystyrene drawing projects until I've washed my hands after sometime after applying that lotion. The cardboard box I depicted at the start of this video, I've also put in some kettle popcorn she got for me some days ago. For me to have as a treat. After she came over to Dad's place to bring that big box of Sharpie markers over here. So around 5:15 p.m. I had some kettle popcorn. This means shortly after having a chocolate chip chewy granola bar. Around 5:45 a.m., I had a chocolate chip muffin with my first cup of plain coffee. I recall having roughly 3 cups from 5:45 in the morning with a partial fourth cup. Before I had the last full cup, because at one point before he left for work, Dad made some more coffee. I recall finishing the last cup of coffee around 8 in the morning. Around that time. And then around noon, I prepared two packets of chicken-flavored instant ramen. The classic M brand, Mukka Chen, something like that. I've never really tried pronouncing the name of the brand before. I prepared 2 pouches, microwaving it all for 7 minutes by pushing the 6 on the microwave keypad, which is the highest number that'll immediately start the microwaving. The 7 won't do that, so to remedy that, I just hit the 6 and then the plus 30 seconds button twice. As a workaround. And then after it was finished microwaving, I added 3 links of sausage, 2 pre-cut by my dad, and 1 I cut after finding it separate in the fridge, or refrigerator, and added that to the ramen to make sausage ramen. The sausage tasted pretty good in that instant ramen. I had that around 12:15 p.m. I did this just to complete main tasks, since I'm currently in the process of trying to get the iron shovel. I believe that's used to clear out the swamp. Although the banana and coconut trees, I planted those much earlier. And because I like the coconuts and bananas they provide every now and then. From my own experience, I have found that metallic bronze Sharpie markers are so similar to metallic gold Sharpie markers. They make such a similar mark that I generally only use the metallic bronze when given a choice between the two if I can help it. But so far I've only been able to find a fine-tipped metallic bronze Sharpie marker and an ultra-fine metallic gold Sharpie marker. So I just treat those two as the same. They're both right here. While these are silvers. While the other metallics are the ruby, emerald, sapphire metallic Sharpie markers, which are red, green, and blue, respectively. The ruby one's red, the emerald one is green, and the sapphire one is blue. And they're right next to the 5 neon Sharpie markers. Yellow, pink, orange, green, and blue.